What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about a story out of Racine, Wisconsin. And it's about this young lady right here. Her name is Dasha Turner. And she's under arrest, and she has $1 million bond. And the reason why she has $1 million bond is she has one of the worst, as described by people out there in Racine, one of the worst cases of child neglect imaginable. This woman right here has children ages 14 months to 14 years of age. And she was arrested on July 31st for putting them in the basement of a rental home that she, or apartment homes in a house, and keeping them in the basement where they were malnourished. And luckily they were found by those doing the welfare check. I want to play this video clip, that you hear it, then I'm going to come back and read you this press clipping that has more details in it. Check it out.
5 children found in a Racine home investigators say badly neglected. Today, their mother now faces charges and is being held on $1 million bond. Yukari Nakayama has been following this story for us, and she joins us live in the newsroom with the latest. Yukari?
Yeah, Mike, this criminal complaint explains the heartbreaking state the 5 children were found and described as frail, lethargic, and seemed like they hadn't showered in days. The mother, Dasha Turner, now facing 5 charges of child neglect. In this complaint, investigators noted that at least 2 of the children were found with marks on their bodies indicating abuse. The 5 children between the ages of 14 months to 14 years old all weighed less than 55 pounds. The youngest child found at 10 pounds when the average 14-month-old should be 28 pounds. And the 3 oldest children all weighed less today than they did several years ago.
There's complete neglect and abuse, no food, completely malnourished children, basically washing away and in the 0.01 percentile of the weight that they should be.
On July 31st, around 3:34 p.m., Racine Police and the Human Services Department got to a home near Metron Court for a welfare check of children living in a basement. In the criminal complaint, it states that the basement where those children were found was not finished. It only had 1 light and no food was in sight. Ricky Stevens, father of one of the children who we spoke to on Wednesday, completely heartbroken.
You feeding them kids once a day, you bathing them once out the month, that's not right.
Turner said none of her children's fathers were involved in their life. Stevens says he's been trying to get a hold of her for years. Investigator Lejeski noted that in 2021, several welfare checks for the children were called in Kenosha, Mount Pleasant, and Racine. Turner claimed the children were being homeschooled. The complaint says the children had not seen an educational professional in years. Many questions still remain about how this alleged abuse lasted for as long as it did. A preliminary hearing is set for August 16th. In the newsroom, Yukari Nakayama, CBS 58 News.
Guys, this is a news excerpt or news article from Fox 6. I guess it's the local news out there in Racine, Wisconsin. And it has a brief paragraph of some stuff that wasn't mentioned in the video. And I want you guys to pay close attention to some of the stuff you hear. It says, a Racine mother faces 5 counts of child neglect causing great bodily harm after 5 children ages 14 months to 14 years were rescued from a basement near 11th Street and Metron Court. Police arrested Dasha Turner on July 31st when officials joined CPS for a welfare check after a landlord reported 5 children were in the basement. According to a criminal complaint, police found the 5 kids in the unfinished basement with no food, no bathroom, exposed wooden stairs, and 1 light with a pull cord. 1 window was covered with purple paint. The prosecutors say 4 children were found on a twin-size mattress, and Turner and a 5th child were found in an adjoining room. The complaint describes the children as frail, lethargic, and unkept. Social workers took custody of the children, and they were taken to Children's Wisconsin. I guess that's Children's Hospital, I guess, in Wisconsin. Prosecutors say the children were severely malnourished. At least 1 had signs of physical abuse, and another told investigators that they got a whooping with a belt from a man who stayed in the basement with Turner. Did you hear that? One of the kids said they got a whipping from a man who stayed in the basement with Turner. There's complete neglect and abuse. No food, completely malnourished children basically washing away in the 0 percentile, 0.1 percentile in the weight that they should be, said Brooke Erickson, Racine Assistant District Attorney. According to the complaint, Turner denied neglecting the children, saying they used the upstairs bathroom. She bathed them using soapy water from a bucket. She claimed they eat the basics, listing various foods, but police said none of these items were found at the home when the children were detained. She said medical conditions related to the children being malnourished were generic. She also denied any physical abuse, prosecutors saying the injuries were caused by the kids fighting. The complaint says she also told investigators the kids were homeschooled. Turner made her first initial appearance in court on August 10th. The absolutely abhorrent conditions that these children were in warrant $1 million cash, says Erickson. The court commission agreed with the state's request to set cash bond at $1 million. It's really, really, really sad for everybody involved, said John Bejalik, Racine County Commissioner. All right, guys. I don't even know what to do with this or even say. You know, it's funny looking at this young lady. I don't know how old she is. It didn't say her age. She's not unattractive. Beauty is a gift and a curse sometimes. And I want a lot of you young ladies out there or older women that listen to me that have young daughters that are attractive, really attractive. There's lessons to be learned in this. Women that are attractive come a dime a dozen. But what goes on behind closed doors sometimes with the way people see them and treat them is something a lot of us need to be aware of. Now, this woman right here, like I said, I don't know her age. She has 5 children. The youngest is 14 months old. Did you see the graph earlier? The 14-month-old is 10 pounds less than he or she should weigh. That's dangerously low. All of these weights are dangerously low that these children were under. And it says a lot. It's a lot of selfishness here. Now, granted, she's in a state of despair with her living conditions. But it's just weird to me how you can find a man, but you can't find food for your fucking kids. And I'm being real. I'm going to try to keep my emotions out of this because stuff like this bothers me. But think about that. What kind of man would lay in a basement, watch you give your babies baths in a bucket with soap, like 12 Years a Slave, that one scene, and be fine with that, talking about he loved you? What is he doing? Like I said before, ladies, if you got a man and he's just there enjoying your company and getting all the benefits of who you are as a woman, and he ain't supplying nothing, no accomplishments, why the fuck is he there? What kind of man are you, period, to sit around and see starving kids around you while sitting up there hugged up with the mom? I bet y'all eat good in front of them. I could see if she was malnourished. No. Parenting is a choice. When you're a parent, decisions have to be made. Are you going to put yourself before your children? Or your children before you? Because after you're gone, this is your imprint on humanity that you want to leave in a positive light. You cannot tell me, like I said, 2 of the children was beat, had marks on them. You cannot tell me that these kids that are down there, especially the 14-month-old, The 14-month-old and the one next in age, did you notice that their weight was the ones that had the most droppage? So that means the other children were fed more than them. I guess it's because of their survival instinct, and they're older. They can take a little bit better care of themselves. The youngest ones was the ones suffering the most. And a fucking dude was sitting down there looking at that shit. I think honestly she might have been on some type of drugs or something, because you know drugs cloud your mind and have you chasing a high and stuff where you don't see what's obvious around you. It got to be something. This is sickening behavior. And like I said on my channel, I call it out. Now, I will say something in defense of this woman. And it's a small something that a lot of people need to hear. Reason why I brought up her age is because 5 children is a lot to deal with, especially where you got a 14-month-old. That's a toddler, like running around touching stuff and all this other stuff. You cannot tell me she don't get some type of assistance, but still the burden and stress that's on this woman is immense. It's immense. They interviewed one of the guys that was one of the baby's father. I don't know which father it was. He said, well, you're not feeding the kids. And, listen, this gonna sound fucked up, but bro, you knew she was unstable. You said you were looking for her for years, but all of a sudden when this comes out, you're in front of the camera, they can find you. That don't sound right. Sound like some cappage right there. Somebody lying. I wouldn't even put my face on TV after my children was starving and I wasn't there. Nothing positive you can say in defense of your children while you wasn't there. I wouldn't have did that shit. That's just me. Ladies, people will use you until they use you up. And this is the perfect example. I don't know if she got mental illness, she kind of slow or whatever, but you got to be on something to where you giving the milk away from the cow and ain't getting nothing in return. And your children were suffering. The landlord is who turned her in. Now, this lady just went to court this past Wednesday. That's an update because she got locked up in July 31st. The court didn't have a public defender for her, so she has to sit in jail until she comes up with finding a lawyer or some type of legal representation. What the fuck is that? But anyway, man, it's a good thing these kids were found and they're getting nourishment now. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Region channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, it's Friday night. The live starts at 7 o'clock. You guys be there. It'll be a break from the norm. We'll get all that for them. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.